During reverse biases, the majority carriers, they are pushed away from the junction. So the junction becomes more broader, it means more resistance is there. So the more resistance prevents flow of current. So but there are some chances to of flowing the current because of minority carriers present in the junction. So a small amount of current flows through till breakdown voltage, and after the breakdown voltage, because all the covalent bonds are broken till this point, this the voltage is having a very high value as compared to 0.7. The breakdown voltage is around 15, is in between 15 to 20 volt. So this is where the breakdown occurs, and the reverse current flows heavily after the breakdown voltage. So this current is mainly due to the minority charges, and after that there are a lot of majority carriers also participate in the current flow. So next we are heading towards the theory of VI characteristics. So here we are going to derive an expression or the rectifier equation or the diode equation. So the ideal voltage current characteristics, they are based on the following assumptions. The first assumption is, during forward biasing, if V is the applied voltage across the junction, so the effective barrier potential becomes VB minus V. So you know that in forward biasing the potential decreases. So VB minus V is the effective barrier potential. So the next point is the injected minority carriers density. This is very small as compared to the majority carrier density. So majority carriers are holes in case of p-type of junction and electrons in case of n-type junction. And the third point is, no generation current occurs in the depletion layer. So we are taking here that depletion in depletion layer there is no current. So electron and hole currents are constant throughout the depletion layer. Next, the built-in potential and the applied voltage, they are supported by a dipole layer with abrupt boundaries, and outside that boundaries the semiconductor is assumed to be neutral. Next we are taking in PN junction, we are considering NP as the density of minority carriers. This is pay attention to this. We are taking here the carriers only as electrons first, and then we will take the case of holes. So in P region, the holes are majority carriers and the electrons are minority carriers. So density of electrons or minority carriers in the P region are NP, and in N region is NN. So this density is related by this equation, and VB is the barrier potential. So when a forward voltage is applied, you know that the effective barrier potential, it becomes VB minus V. So VB would be replaced by VB minus V, and also because the forward voltage is applied, the electron density would increase. So NP plus delta NP would be there. So when we will open this bracket, so we will have two exponential values, exponential minus EVB by KT, exponential EV by KT, and then we have these two terms here. When we are subtracting this equation from this equation, so we are getting delta NP. Delta NP is equal to NN exponential of this minus this. So we can take out exponential of minus EVB by KT common. So we are here with the exponential of EV by KT minus 1. So this is the expression for delta NP. So if we need to calculate the diffusion of electron, which is constituting the current IE, we need to calculate IE. So I is equal to EA VB, and along with that the density of carriers. So here we have delta NP, so we will fill the value of NP from this equation. So this is what we have got here. So these all things, these all parameters, these all are very constant ones. So we are replacing this with the constant CE, and then after we are getting IE value like this, CE exponential of EV by KT minus 1. So this is the expression for diffusion of electron, which is constituting the electron current IE. This is the electron current. Similarly, the hole current would give you expression IH is equal to CH exponential of EV by KT minus 1. So to calculate the total current, we need to add both of these currents, IE plus IH. Then we are getting CE plus CH exponential of EV by KT minus 1. And here we are replacing CE plus CH by IS. So IS is known as the saturation current. And this equation is called the rectifier equation or the diode equation. So here we have two cases, because for the forward biasing V is positive. This value V is positive. So V is positive, it means exponential of EV by KT would be a positive value. So this would be very larger value as compared to the 1. So we are here neglecting this one term. So EIS exponential of EV by KT is the expression which we are left with. So for the reverse biasing, EV by KT exponential is very, very small as compared to 1, because V is negative. So so this term we would be neglect this equation, this term, and then we will have minus IS with us. So reverse current IS is constant, which is independent of applied reverse bias. Next we have effect of temperature. So from this equation we can also see that the I depends on T also. So current through the PN junction, it depends on temperature. So during forward biasing it would increase with the rise of temperature, and during reverse biasing the reverse saturation current nearly increases 7% per degree Celsius for both germanium and silicon. So it means for every 10 degree rise in temperature, the current would double. So the reason that germanium seems more temperature independent is that reverse current is approximately 1000 times larger than the silicon reverse current. So that is why the silicon is more preferred over the germanium, because germanium is more temperature dependent.